Hi everyone, it's Aubrey and today I'm going to be giving you the more in-depth tutorial of this editorial, crazy Minecraft inspired makeup look. Let's get onto it. Don't forget to put your contacts in, these are from Moody lenses. To prime my eyes, I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite in shade C6. This is going to give my eyelids a really nice base because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation up there. Next, I'm going to dip into my W7 Mardigras palette, and we will be doing this 2016 style, okay? Loads of blending, loads of layering, the works. So we're going to be taking the shade Acid, which is like this neon color, and we're going to basically pat that all over the lid, literally coat it. So literally just take it all over, bring it as high as you can up to the brow bone. As you can see, we've left no gaps. Remember the classic rule of do not swipe your eyeshadow like windshield motions, tap it on to the base to give it the highest level of pigment possible. Now I'm going to take this shade Envy, which is basically just a dark green. I'm so sorry, I have to film this on my Samsung phone. Taking that Envy shade, we're going to stamp it on the crease of our eyelid, basically the fold, and kind of blend it into our first layer. This time you can go in with a few windshield wipers because our first layer of powder has been essentially used to set the eye base, so that will not be budging and creasing and doing all that nasty stuff. Alright, now it should look like this. It's looking a little bit patchy, but don't worry, that'll all get fixed with the cut crease. Now I'm going to take the shade, let me pull that up. Okay, same palette. Now we are taking the black shade called Midnight, and we are basically, like I said, just layering it and really blending it all together so we can get a really defined look when we eventually cut the crease. It should look something like this, and I know it looks crazy, but it'll transform into that in this next simple step. Something I am frequently asked is how I get my cut crease so it looks so clean, smooth, and pigmented, and this is a technique that's been around for a while, but it's literally just taking micellar water on a Q-tip and carving out the shape that you're going to do before actually putting your eye base on. Let me show you. Alright, let's just zoom you in here. We're just going to basically start carving out the shape that we want, and be warned, you're going to end up going through at least 2 Q-tips to achieve this. This step essentially just makes sure that there is no excess eyeshadow that is going to make your cut crease base muddy or kind of not pigmented. And a tip that I do for cut creases, even though my eyes are uneven, is I relax my eyes, and that kind of indicates how much I need to carve out so you can actually see the effect when I relax my eyes. After that, I reverse the cotton swab and just kind of clean it up, just to make sure that there is no leftover eyeshadow that is going to cloud up my base. Don't forget to wing it like that. Guys, all the fallout made my base look all gross. That is so annoying. Mission saved for now. Back onto the eyes. Now I'm taking my tried and true W7 eye primer and basically just covering the whole thing with that on a flat paintbrush. These work very well for detailed makeup looks. I really do recommend a set of cheap paintbrushes for any kind of detail work. So when doing this, you really want to tap and drag, kind of just pinpoint where you want to put it. I like to put the eye primer onto like a little smooth surface just so I can pick it up and use it sparingly, because eye primer is actually very difficult to find nowadays. Kind of noticed my technique of just carving it out using the guideline of where I erased the eyeshadow, and yeah, it takes practice. Fun fact, as I do this, I didn't actually have much of a Minecraft childhood. You know, I'm kind of just in it for the memes. But when it comes to the nostalgia on naming kind of the materials in the game, I'm pretty much completely clueless. I'm kind of learning it from my sister, who's actually growing up with the game on her iPad, but me personally, I had actually never played it. I watched a few of the YouTubers growing up, but mostly that was about it. Look at how beautiful and carved that cut crease is. P. Louise Academy, here I come. Now that we have our cut crease, guess what? Yes, more blending, because you cannot achieve this with only a few steps. It is currently 11 o'clock at night. I'm exhausted, but we gotta keep on. I'm dipping into the sleek Lucid Dreams palette, and this doesn't have a shade name, but it's that white shade. We're literally just gonna pack this onto the third of our eye. Now that we have the white put on, we're going to take the shade Acid again and kind of just blend it onto the rest of the cut crease. I'm also going to layer it with this shade, I'm so sorry I have no idea of the shade name, from that Lucid Dreams palette, and kind of blend it into the white. Now I've taken my Technique retractable eyeliner and kind of just sketched the shape that I want, and I'm going to go over it and blend it out with the same green that we used on the second layer of the eyeshadow. As you can see, it's the same brush and it's still the shade Envy, and we're just going to basically smoke that out until we get that same kind of effect on here. I'm taking an angled brush and I'm dipping back into the shade Midnight from the W7 palette, and I'm just going to stamp over the eyeliner just to kind of bring it back to life like it is on this eye. Now for that giant dolly look, we're going to take that same brush that we used for the cut crease and kind of carve out a thin line under our eyes and kind of wing it out. You can use it as a way to also kind of correct your eyeliner, and this is how we're going to achieve this effect. I just went ahead and set this with the same white eyeshadow that we used for this portion of the eye, and now I'm going to take the same colours that we used and basically smoke out my bottom lash line. Now I'm just blending the colours out, and then we're going to go on to lashes and glitter. So to start, I'm going to take this light shade of green and place it on my brow bone, underneath the eye, as well as on top of the black eyeliner that we did. And I'm using a brush just so I can carefully place the shadows where they need to. Now I'm taking this green glitter and I'm placing it on the inner corner as well as on my brow bone. Next I'm taking these bottom lashes from 99 Dreams and I'm placing about 5 of them along that bottom line on the black part. Alright, bottom lashes are done, and now I'm going to apply a thin layer of mascara to the top lashes and also stick my falsies on, and I'll be right back to start on the creeper. Okay, lashes are on, and I did actually forget, but I'm just going to pop some of this Wisdom Glow Chameleon Gel eyeshadow from Focallure in my inner corner and slightly on my brow bone. Now quickly, I just want to mention the pearls and the little gems that you see on my face. With that you can kind of go crazy, but just a quick tip, do use a clear lash glue because black lash glue will show through your gems. I have this pearl pack from the range and I use the smallest and second smallest size, and I have this gem wheel from the works that's about £1.50, and I use the light green and the dark green. Be right back. Here is the gem placement I went for personally, and now it's time to move on to the step you've all been waiting for, the creeper. So for the graphic portion of the face, I'm using just a simple Primark liquid liner, this 17 ink Legend white eyeliner, and the Revolution Creators palette, which is full of all of these wet liners, which is what I use on this side as well actually. For reasons of simplicity, I chose to just do the creeper's face. Basically, you're going to start out with 2 small boxes like so and fill them in. Now you want to connect these 2 boxes with a line and then make another one right underneath and fill it in. Now I made another little shape, kind of like a boxy N underneath the nose portion, and I'm going to fill that in also. And that's how the shape should look. Taking the white eyeliner, we're going to make a few boxes just so we can give ourselves kind of a guideline on where to go. If needed, you can clean up the sides with the rest of that black eyeliner. Now I'm taking a green and I'm just kind of, you can literally just eyeball it. I'm just making the majority of the blocks this shade and just placing them all around using a thin nail brush. I recommend nail brushes for detail as well as paint brushes, but I find that they are less accessible in your regular store compared to paint brushes. Now I just went ahead and I outlined it and added 2 little lines using the same technique that I was using before. This just gives it a more 3D look and just kind of helps it bring it to life a lot more. And now you've got a little creeper on your face. Now, just to make it kind of match the other side, I'm going to go ahead and add some swirls in. So all you need to do is locate a nice corner, bring the liner out, and swirl. And to make the lines look a lot nicer, do another swirl. Once you get good at this, it really is just as easy as flicking, and you got a swirl, and then going over it if you need some extra definition. Now that we have the little swirls, I'm just going to take the light and the dark green and just add some extra accents in, such as these. I don't know why I said that so weird, I'm so sorry. Just like that. Looks kind of messy, but it's kind of cute. Alrighty guys, that is pretty much the tutorial finished. I added some extra gems and glitter, and I'm just going in with my Go-Go Tales lip cream in the shade G06 to finish the look, because some of it rubbed off earlier. Just remembered I have this perfect cherry slime lip gloss by Lime Crime, so I'm going to put that on. Holy shit. And that is the tutorial all finished. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. P.S. Go watch the Minecraft movie.